Okay, so first of all, I'll tell you guys, I saw your Chibozi on the timeline after they had posted some highlight on. I think one of our big guys had posted how they've made some money and that built a house. Something I personally don't agree with. I don't know why we and it has happened, yeah. It has happened from like back then. Why the standard of success is a house for most times, yeah. Why people feel like once they build a house out of something, even other guys that are just working.
The Ugandan standard overall.
The Ugandan standard, yeah. Like someone that needs to build a house to define some sort of success for them, yeah. So I jumped on that Chibozi, and I felt like it's something we could record, get value out of it. Some people can really understand from like Play's opinion, the business of music, and from like my perspective, from her perspective, yeah. So that's why I picked this up from. But Rachel has had very good opinions on the thing. So
Rachel with the opinions. Hey. Rachel with the opinions.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the business, man. You need to understand how things work before you're able to do something meaningful with it. And man, I agree with you. Like you can't just wake up one day and you're like, man, I built this house and you know I have all these things from the music business.
But first, wait.
No.
Okay, now before we start,
only the music business.
I was going to exactly that's what I was going to say, because we cannot also say that Jay-Z's wealth is only from music.
Yeah.
And there's no artist with money whose money came from only the music business.
Exactly.
Music, I don't know what it was listened to recently. Music is a jump starter. It's actually a jump starter. It's a cheat code jump starter to make money. And that's where people make mistakes. Any musician who has money uses music to jump start your connections. He opens the doors for you and gives you the money to make the investments. Also, it's quite guaranteed as a musician. For example, Praz, you know Praz of Fuji's? You know the guy of Fuji's, the Praz. So yeah, he went to some problems recently, if I remember right, that the music opened some bad doors for him, but made him money. He ended up, you know those things whereby the foreigners use you to move money into elections and stuff like that. So they're using him for that kind of bringing money into what's called illegal, what I don't know.
Money laundering.
Not money laundering, it's like funding of elections. Getting from other places, so stuff like that. So I think was it Trump or Obama? I don't know, one of the two. So basically, long story short, because of music, particular doors were open to him that gave him access to particular avenues. So I think that's also one thing that you also have to notice when you do the discussion. That sometimes it's not 100% the money, but the money is the key to particular money.
Yeah, but I mean, I totally agree. And I think that is how we kind of got to this conversation of this person was claiming they built a house from only music and only hip-hop music in Uganda. Like, bro, I don't know who you are. I don't know how you do it.
No, you know who he is.
I didn't know we should just name drop. Like, it's no harm because we're not like attacking.
No, we're not attacking. We're having the discussion around the possibility.
Discussion around it. So,
do we have permission to name drop? Do you have permission to name drop?
So I said it. Jenna said he built a house from
music.
A very beautiful house, right? In Muyenga.
In a high-end residential area.
But also that's the conversation.
A mansion.
That's another conversation to have on the Ugandan real estate bubble, right?
That's a conversation.
But now, from what you just said, right? The hip hop now opens doors. It makes sense. I'd actually not really looked at it from that angle before, but then it makes sense. Like he had to first be a hip hop star to get to everything else he is.
You can literally say something about Bobby Wine.
Yeah.
Bobby Wine's music. Without his music, I do not think he'd be what he is right now. If you think about it.
Yes.
Well, there are a little bit of things of before Bobby Wine got into like music, he was a respectable kind of like leader. They called him the ghetto president back in Okay,
And
I
a
think
serious
it still
business one,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, and that was like an actual job. It was an actual leadership position. It's just that I think maybe with time he kind of like, you look for ways to express yourself as a leader. And then maybe once in a while someone tells you, hey, why don't you sing? People in the ghetto kind of love that thing. Everybody in the ghetto is trying to prove that they can build their own parents' houses from music.
But hold on. Are you telling me, hypothetically speaking, that there is probably another person who was what Bobby Wine was before he became Bobby Wine that could have achieved presidential candidacy without music?
Yes.
Yeah. No.
I mean,
Yes.
maybe people out there will tell us, because this is one of those
A
things
guy
where
like
you need to
Sejirinya
know the background.
can achieve presidential.
Who?
Sejirinya, yeah, the MP guy. I feel like, yeah.
But see, that's MP. Now, what I'm saying, because you say get the ghetto president aspect, right? To be a ghetto president, you are relevant in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
To a point, right? So even if you have some easy money, you're relevant in your neighborhood. In order for you to move from relevant in your neighborhood to be a president, besides the Bobby Wine way, you have to evolve as a person at an insane rate. You have to be what was our campuser who became a candidate again? What's his name again?
Paul.
The one even gays, even DJ Kim has a song about him. Come recently, this
Katumba.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Katumba.
yeah.
Oye.
Katumba Oye.
Yeah, so you see like him, of course he used a different route, but which is kind of a social media thing. But even how he presented himself during twice election was kind of respectable, right? How he stood up. So basically, if you are a neighborhood LC1 or a ghetto president or whatever, you have to evolve towards what Katumba was looking like for the people, and you have to go beyond your neighborhood. Yeah. You cannot just be a Chiwatule chairman of Chiwatule and you think you're just going to become president of a country. Your evolution has to be insane. So that's what I'm saying. For Bobby Wine, I do not want to believe. It's possible miracles happen, but I refuse to believe that there's a person that Bobby Wine didn't have the music, which gave him the visibility and opened the doors. He wouldn't have become the presidential candidate. The music opened the doors and got him to his point.
Yeah, I can say that.
Do you think Alien Skin can stand for president?
Yeah, he can. He actually can. Like, honestly, if you go to the bar, and first of all, like, the bar life is what defines Uganda. Everybody out there, uptown, downtown, understands music, understands the bar life. So if you have someone like Alien Skin being played at high-end places and the crowd going wild, and you go to these places in Tebe Road, those low bars, and people are vibing along, definitely people are going to vote for him just by virtue of his popular songs. I mean, we've voted people for way less.
For just being
Katumba. The
color. okay, but
yeah.
Okay,
back to like the GNL.
Yeah, because I was coming back because I thought we wanted to come back to a while before. Oh,
is can you make? I know you really challenge the whole point, because now if hip hop opens the doors for you, you become anything.
But
it's how you do it. It's how you do it, because you look at okay, if you're now doing name calling, if you get like let's say if you get Navio, you get GNL, who else? You get an Alien Skin, and then you get a Namakula as well. Since we're talking music in general, you get all these people, different backgrounds, different styles of music, different genres can be kind of similar, and then you put them in a room, and then you kind of find out of all these people, who would you maybe say you'd elect in a certain presidential position. Who would you probably love to represent Uganda? Let's say if you're talking Grammys or something like that, BET. Who would you see representing Uganda adequately? So it's possible, but how you do it kind of comes back to your brand. When you hear Navio going to BET, yeah, definitely. Like you see it, like you even feel it, like him picking the word. Like you have the whole emotion. But then if someone tells you, and no offense, Rema Namakula is
politically correct.
I'm like, okay. So first there's the language barrier. Then you're like, the styles are different. Like she does have a very good audience. She's one of the most followed female artists in Uganda. Very talented lady, very hardworking. She understands her brand and she knows how to use it to the best way possible to keep her like on top of mind. Downtown, Gazaland women, uptown. If she just did something today with like her husband, or even about the child, or even it's something about Eddie Kenzo from like back 10 years ago, it would trend.
Yeah.
That's powerful for an artist. And how she can use that, I can actually believe like she can use that to build multiple mansions because she understands the music business. She has used her talent to get there.
If I will have to define the music business.
Before I want to say something, that's also an important thing. What you have said is also important to Uganda especially. Just to note, there are almost two types of artists in Uganda. This also defines the money. The artist that appeals locally and the artist that can cross borders. We know they are not the same. 95% of the time, they are not the same. But the artist that appeals locally will automatically hopefully, but they'll get more money. Guaranteed. Yes. The guy who is downtown, Gazaland, the local artist, the Rema, guaranteed has more money than who you, let's say, a Navio-esque type of artist who's going to cross borders. The one you can see at the BET will not get Rema money. Even though...
let's first pause there. I feel like still, right, the artist that appeals locally is the same artist that actually crosses borders.
Now that's the thing.
It's where the sound could be dope, like there's all this sound you feel like this deserves to like cross borders, but it doesn't. But what is appealing still makes money to like cross the borders.
Give me 5 songs.
Yeah.
Give me 5 songs.
But
you know, my opinion.
See, let's say Spice Diana's music, right?
Nope.
Does it cross borders? Like, I want us to define
borders of Wakiso.
But listen, what do we mean when we say crossing borders?
I mean, Nigerians would listen and be like, this is that new joint. I mean, a South African would gladly pay that thing. I mean, a Kenyan would be like, this is fire. And at the end, the kind of song that would be party after party with Cardi B singing. That's what I understand by crossing borders.
Eddie Kenzo.
One.
Define Eddie Kenzo. But now look, yeah.
Now I can also go into Eddie.
And it comes back to her point when she talked about someone who is like worthy going for the BET. Are you like one of those people who feel like Eddie Kenzo shouldn't win like a Grammy? Because I kind of feel like that. Like I feel like, okay, this is like, I don't understand his music. I don't appreciate it that much.
There's another thing.
Eddie Kenzo. The thing with Eddie Kenzo is he started off as a Rema Namakula kind of person of, the Sitamina.
Yeah.
Sitamina.
Appealing locally, right?
Appealing locally.
And that hit everywhere.
But what hit actually wasn't his music. It was
the kids. Say exactly.
I
was going to say the same thing.
And
it wasn't him, it was the kids.
That so well.
I get argue.
He leveraged it so well
that
he has built some international brand.
You guys are picking up.
The thing is, a brand is not about the music. A brand is what people feel about you as a person. Is it the emotions?
Like Kenzo's genius was to get the kids and walk around them and
no.
He just
here's what happened. The kids were in the video. People saw and they loved the kids, and he didn't let the kids leave him behind. He caught up and he owned it. He was amazing with it. People literally speak till today. They're like, some guys like, man, I do not know how Kenzo does it.
Yeah.
But he has placed himself in the right places.
Yes.
People are like, he knows the right people to call. Like, of all the people in the industry right now, he is the one person who knows who to call, where to be seen.
Exactly.
Above every artist.
How does he do it?
That's something you won't tell us. I don't know, but you won't tell us.
But I think a little bit of
so interesting. Now you see,
it's knowing where to be at the right time, at the right place, and knowing what to say.
Yeah, because if you look,
I feel like that is it.
I read my rant, and I thought it was some bullshit, but now you really have given it a lot of weight. So he was ranting. Kenzo Tagawa number or what?
But you need to add those numbers. Like if I was Eddie Kenzo, I'd do the same. Like you can't just go around giving like the CEO of Sony music.
I don't want to hate.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't want to hate, but trying to remember the last big Kenzo song.
Weekend, to me.
How many years ago was that? That was a fire song, by the way. But how long what was that?
2-3 years?
3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years back.
You see what I mean? And then my guy was out here being nominated
Let's discuss
1 year
this.
ago.
Let's discuss his nomination, right? To the Grammys.
That nomination, yeah.
How does he do it? Because there are no kicks this time.
He was on a collab. It was the other guy who was nominated. It was the other guy's song.
And he
But he
invited
featured.
him. But you know, it's also hard for people to invite people they featured. Sometimes they take up all the credit and then they're like, yeah, shout out to my guys. But for him to be invited, to be in the rooms with and in like, I think they were like behind the scenes, those kind of like get together things. And he was there actively having conversations with top names in the music industry.
You may find I don't know about Kenzo, but you may find he's one of those people who you want to be with and have, like if you work together, he's probably because I was impressed. Martha Mukisa, Martha Mukisa's song featuring Eddie Kenzo. Kenzo was with her the whole way till our concert. Like it was like his song. He was with her. I was even because most artists, when you do a collabo, they can let you go and sort yourself.
Exactly.
I won't drop names, but
we know them.
We know them.
We know them.
You sort yourself. Well, I've already given you my verse. Use my name, you'll be fine.
That's Chameleon's complaint with international collaboration.
That happens like 98% international. You do a collab with Jay-Z, you leave it to sort yourself. And that's because you see the way Kenzo stuck to Martha Mukisa was crazy. The whole way. The song became her biggest song, and he was there like it's his song. And so I believe maybe it's a high chance that he's that type of person, whereby it's like, they've done a collab, okay, what should we do next? How can we get this song further? During the video shoot, let me know. I'll be there. Yeah. So maybe he was with the guy the whole way, because that's one way of.
But then again, from some of the interactions I've had with a couple of people, Eddie Kenzo is just one of those good people. Like he loves supporting people he's around. So if by the time he's going to studio with you, he believes in you and he wants to see you grow as a person. So I think it's a little bit of who he is as a person, and then also he understands the business. He understands that he's not going to sustain himself as a brand. He needs to collaborate with certain people in the industry to keep his name afloat, and then also push his brand beyond whatever we might be even thinking of.
So I think we ignore Kenzo is in the light, right? The awards come in. Okay, maybe that's like the biggest benchmark for an artist to make it. But JNL's point actually with the house is
You made it from musical.
I've made it. Like my house is my Grammy. That's his point.
Now
my house in Myenga for just being a rapper is the Grammy. The other guy that has done it is Gravity. Gravity has some picture on Instagram where he's standing on a 3-story building.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But for Gravity, to me, it makes sense. Somehow, but also, we have to look at JNL's story. Yeah, why this makes sense to him. In that regard. Where is he coming from?
But the thing is, my thing is, I can't believe. If he said that, I got all this through hip-hop, I can't believe. But the thing is, there needs to be like some sort of proof to it. Like, let's say it's streaming. Let's look at streaming platforms only.
Yeah.
You can't even say.
Give us the Wi-Fi password. You can just give me the Wi-Fi password to get those numbers. We just get these numbers for real.
No, but for real, like I can't believe if Navia came and told me, man, I got this. Probably I built Icon Studios through hip hop. I can be like, I've seen how you've been, doing all these collaborations. He has done brand partnerships with like some reputable people in the industry, tourism. He has done stuff with, Ali and all these people. Like I can see it coming together of how he has used his position
in Hollywood, right?
hip hop to like open all these doors. And when I see the work, I'm like, But he was also honest of, I also actually have like my side things. I have like a chicken house. During COVID, was sharing videos of like, guys, come and buy. And you could see like he has invested in multiple businesses. So I can't believe for Navio. JNL, bro, man, be real.
But you see, there's also the doubts on Navio. Like, guys are going to tell you, rich kid, whatnot. There's that conversation always.
No, me, I have a couple of things. I've been
there's
around.
a hustle story to JNL though.
Yeah.
Being the first guy to do the concert, so he has probably mastered. Maybe he got money from that and invested wherever. there is, of course, people always want to bring up that even on top of if someone gets with a white person, the white person is funding the money. There's also that on the table. Yeah, but Navio has that whole rich kid thing. Mommy is funding, so it's smooth. Because also, Navio's videos, it's almost like money laundering.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Oh wow! Yeah, slow down. Let's go move best with Batu. Land money laundering.
Okay, but I can see that, but I think people have a lot of bias towards, I guess, people with money. People have this thing of if you have money, you can open doors. It does everything for you. But we know a lot of rich people who have all this money, there's a certain artist that we have who has spent money on, TV, telling people stream my music. He has gotten influencers. There's so many people, but you don't see them having the same impact that Navio has. So, and you also know some people who have...
What do you mean?
Influence.
Yes, the same influence of he even has like brand partnerships.
Yeah.
Yet this person has money. He has put money in billboards, but he can't get it
because don't
back.
forget, there's a difference between having in Ugandan entertainment. There's a difference between having money and being famous. Those are also two different things. Just because you're famous doesn't mean you'll have money.
Most Ugandan people are famous.
Yes, not necessarily have money, and the ones who have money are usually quiet, and the people who are famous. And then with the famous ones, the ones who have money are the top, like 2% of every industry, top 2% there. Yeah. But there's not something I need to ask. I need to add. Oh. So you guys are concerned about the house that was mentioned being built in Yenga. Yeah. So there's another thing I had which also concerned other people. Remember his last album, The Spear?
Yes.
So someone, I think it was him, I don't know. They say that I think he got a million. I don't know if there's a million or a billion buys or something. Like it sold a billion copies or a million. Remember something like that?
Yeah, something around that.
Yeah.
I saw a story like that.
Exactly.
For his music.
Exactly, for the album. Just for that album particularly, The Spear. Let's be honest, if you get a million copies sold, even just a million of an album, that's like $7 million. If they're buying it at the iTunes price of $7, that's, if you sell 1 million, that's 7 million. You can't build a house with $7 million. $7 million, I'll buy land in Kololo and just put a chicken to walk around and say that's my land. And I put those things, guys, I put not for sale, just to show that I own it. And put my phone number, like I own it. 7 million, I'll just put that. I'm just saying, $7 million, I own it.
But wouldn't we see that the album has sold those copies?
Yeah, because there is no proof of
that. That's the part where I sipped tea.
Like, I need something. Very honestly, I can't believe.
We actually put on the internet
show us
numbers.
Oh yeah, I was trying to see. No, but apparently the album, he was selling it on his website. And the website, you can't see the numbers.
Only him can access the numbers.
Yeah.
Then let him show us those numbers.
You want to know?
Yeah.
I want to know the money.
Yeah, that's the actual inspiration for me. Like, let me see the numbers.
Because you have a lot of kids out there. Like, if you go for these underground shows, you'll see a lot of kids looking to build their mother's houses through music. Yes. And most of them are especially in hip-hop. So if you have someone like GNL out there who is a very reputable person, we've seen him grow, like he's someone a lot of people relate to because he knows his music and he's actually very talented. And he has his brand has the power to get him a house. But he has to be honest about how he got there.
But we need to add something. Don't forget, GNL is not a rapper who started 8 years ago.
Exactly.
He's not Fefe Busi, Fik from America. He's new. He is 15 years in the game. Yeah. So hypothetically speaking, if he didn't spend all his money that he has been getting and just kept it in a safe, he could probably have a house.
Yes.
But you guys, buying land in Muyenga that's like a 200.
You know that we have a friend, and you have a friend who has a house in Muyenga.
Thank you.
No, but that is a different Muyenga.
Buying a house.
This guy's Muyenga is like There
By the way,
are
my
different
issue,
levels.
yeah, like I want to see why it's important for me to see the numbers than to see the house. Is
That's stuck on the house.
the house is a one-off, right? Like you could.
But now you're becoming like those guys who are discussing who judge success by a house.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like a house is a one-off.
Yeah.
It could be a happy deal out of something, and you could build a house, right?
Mm.
And you rightfully have the house.
Yeah.
So how you prove it? But if I see numbers, streams, see all these new Nigerian guys live large, but then
Yeah.
you see that their music can actually pay for their lifestyle now.
Yeah.
Numbers. That is all I want to see.
Actually, yeah, because I was even listening to something like Easy saying he spent like 16,000 on a certain song, and in 2 weeks he returned that money, and he can really tell you, oh, I got it through like streams, and he tells you I got almost 1 million people streaming my song, and then you do the math, it kind of makes sense because through that song he also got additional brand partnerships. He ended up turning some of the songs into jingles, so that is nice money. How many songs can we say from GNL have been turned into jingles? How many brands can we say he has partnered with, he has been on billboards with, that he has gotten through, that maybe let's just say the Spear album. Like there's so many avenues that are there for making that kind of money to build a house, but we need to be honest about how he got it. That is it.
Where the house was
How is the money?
Uh-huh.
How is the money from the streams? How's the album doing? How is?
No, me, like the numbers are there, the plays are there.
Can you
But
build
it's-
half a house?
House,
Half a house.
house.
Can you buy land?
Can you buy land?
I'm like, I find a place to write not for sale on Subco Road. They'll probably sweep that shit up after like 2 days. Get rating not for sale. No, but that's a sick. No.
But the actual streams, do we have guys that make that money from? Yeah.
In Uganda, I think there are people possibly. I
I
don't
think
they're in
the
hip-hop.
the young generation,
Okay.
there's a guy
First,
called, I think...
Where it doesn't really make sense to me. See like new cuts, like Baraka hitting like 1 million streams, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 1.8
That is-
at counting.
Yeah. Still counting, even if it's like 2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I may cut.
So that means it's not so common for guys to actually even hit as little as 1 million here.
In Uganda, yeah.
Streams, or talking streams or YouTube. Okay, so let's
Even
say.
the streams hit Spotify, I think.
So I'm looking at people probably have the biggest numbers. Azawi is one of the most well sold artists.
Ever.
Especially because not only they sell her as a Ugandan artist coming to downtown, but they also sell her as a modern artist and streams. Her highest streaming I have here is Slow Dancing at 676,000, and that is only on Spotify.
I feel like we need to put a disclaimer because there have been rumors as well of people paying for some of these streams.
Of course, they're what they call streaming farms in the States.
Yeah.
A streaming farm is a place where a guy has like 100 phones, and then you just play, and then he just plays your song on footer, and that's how you get your numbers. No, but either way, still get your money back. So as I has, I think the highest I can see here is Slow Dancing with 676. Let us say Baby Cool. I think Anagi Baby Cool might have some numbers, right?
No.
There's some...
I don't think
There's a guy called,
Love
I
You
think,
Every Day.
Olomwa.
Love You Every Day is at 3.8 million on Spotify alone. Why is at
Party.
600?
Spice Diana's music should be bigger than that.
It's dead in
Well,
space.
yeah,
Let's find
No,
out.
no.
Let's find out.
No crush. Spice Diana is really well marketed.
As I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
as
yeah.
as I
She's
have
one
more
of those
numbers.
people you can't call an artist, but the
But
brand is there.
But Spice Girls, by the time you can be talk about her the whole time, but she didn't have a hit song.
Exactly.
But
Like,
have you...
Yeah, but she has a
I
popular
feel like,
Instagram. What she
That's
has
true.
done, she has
Spice Diana
she has
has
done some
managed to captivate...
Manyango na
She
mapiano
has
song.
engaged with her fans, by the way. Like everywhere, you'll always hear that, Spice Diana passed call here. Oh, she took a picture with me. Like she actively engages with her audience.
Yeah.
Enough for people to be like, you know what, this is a person I want to get behind. Because she appeals to like the downtown people and then also like the urban people. The way she does the music videos and a little bit of her lyrics as well.
There's something we're forgetting,
Yeah.
which is the most important part of the music thing. None of this money, or these streams, or the Spice Diana relevance happens without an investment.
Sure.
And that's, I think, the craziest part. There is no artist who has become big
except I think maybe Joshua Baraka. But I don't know the details about that. But there's no artist who has blown. Someone will tell us. No artist has blown without that initial money injected into them.
Okay.
That goes to the look, that goes to music video, that goes to pushing the song. Because what it takes to make a song a hit is no joke. There's some people who, I think Apas was one of the few, I don't want to say lucky, but hardworking people who got. Apas has numbers. I'm sure. Let me check. Apas's beginning was not really paid for. Don't forget, he was signed to Buddy Studios, whose boss is Buddy, who was Buddy Films, the director. So music videos are automatically covered. They have an in-house studio, Buddy Studios. So in-house
But
studios.
I feel like he still has to pay because that's a service. He didn't buy the camera for free.
No. What I'm saying is, when you're part of a group that has everything, you're not paying anything. They have invested in the company.
So, Jacob, now the question there is how much money invested in the music gets you a profit? Like, does it square up? How much you invest in the music to how much you can get out of the music to afford your lifestyle? So that is what GNL should be answering. Yeah, 15 years in the game, or 15 plus. How much has he invested? Is he now feeding from that?
I think there are two things. When you invest in the music, the smarter person makes sure it's simultaneously investing in the artist. What does that mean? We know Kachumbali, the song. Na na Kachumbali. I think released something.
With the dance.
Quite. I think released something about a week ago. But because the artist wasn't that much invested in, no one knows him really. He can literally walk here and no one can be like that same. You see what I mean? The investment was the focus on the music of the artist. Yet you have an artist like Spice Diana who can be the almost exact. Of course, I'm sure they invest in the music, but the artist was so well invested in that you cannot scatter from the brand. That's why she has a water. She has a bill. There are artists who have more music than Spice Diana, but she's pulling in more financial whatever's than them, and that's when you get that difference again, because she as an artist was treated as a brand, not just as music. Yeah, that's a whole other thing. So you're saying how much it takes to invest to live and to live with. So first of all, you're going to want to get a hit song. It's not cheap. What people do or have been doing is also invest in a songwriter to actually create the hit. And songwriters can cost like 2 million upwards. I I think Ray Signature was 2M last time I checked, a couple of years back. Now it's probably higher than that.
Yeah. Because the 5 years back, Lipas was like 10M. I don't know if Baby Cool used to lie.
Yeah, you never know.
Still right.
You never know.
But
But let's just say average, you look at a studio with a decent producer like Nassim or whatnot, to record the song you're looking at 5M, let's say. But of course, if you want to just get a producer to just produce your song and you're going to write it yourself, then that can be a lot less, can probably be 1M, maybe something like that. Just hope that you're good enough. What?
So how does it work? Yeah, you create a hit song, then the hit song makes you money.
No.
From performances.
No. First, you have to, again, you've created the song. Now you have to go to the next step, which costs probably 10 times more money, which is making that song a hit song. It's still just a song. You have to make it a hit song, which means the radios have to play it. Downtown has to know it. The TVs have to play it. All these three have to have you on rotation.
So going to a decent producer is not enough.
That's not enough. You know, because you're going to need even a decent director. Sash Vibe is going to ask you for like 15. Arena is going to probably ask you like 12, 15 also. Basically, get a top tier director's video looking at 10 to 15 to 10 to 20 M. Shiba is not spending less than 12 M per video. Baby Cool is not hitting less than 15 M. Neither Kenzo. Now View of Late is not doing less than 10 million for a video.
Hey, but Baby Cool has
Navi has no bad video. This conversation was about hip hop. Navi has no bad video.
Okay.
But even when it didn't make sense for him,
Shoot a video for some.
yeah, he shot a video and it was a very good video.
Which one? Like which one? Yes.
All his videos, Angalo, that video where they tried to copy
Raw, I know that one. Yeah, run
Yes.
stuff. I knew the one you were saying immediately you said it. I knew the one you were saying. Because everyone saw the video, I'm like, this looks like
exactly
that video.
Yeah. So raw, all that stuff was really dope stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like you'd feel proud, like this
Mhm.
guy is rapping.
Yeah.
But it would be hard for the math to add up. Like the investment, does it make sense?
I will tell you this because
Was it long term for him? Yeah.
Because this is the next part I was going to. When you make the hit, the next step is to attach the brand to the hit. That's why people do TV interviews. That's why they do this easy small warm-up performances. You have to chase. As time I was talking to Santana, and actually, he told me that. He was giving me advice. He was like, it was like November. It's like, I'm trying to work on this song so I can put it out, get a hit, then I can perform in December, Christmas money. That's why I said understanding how this works. You create your hit, it gets visible, then you start the performances. Now those days, this is like from what this information I used to get from like 10 years ago, they used to go bar performing. Do you remember those? They used to be not even afterwards, because I think by the time we DV had closed, but there were still so many bars and clubs. Okay, Kampala definitely has a lot of clubs. But those days they had a lot more performances in clubs than these days. These days it feels like they're more in shows and whatever. So guys used to go like from Wednesday to Saturday.
Yeah.
Every night you just hit 3 clubs. To get like 300K or so for a performance of 3 songs. Go to one club, you go to Kenyan camp, you go to whatever, 300K, you go to Makini, hit one club, you go to Golobi, hit one club. One night you got like you can 900K 1M. Do that for 4 nights in a week. That's 4M. Do that for one month. That's 16.
That's a music video on the production, right?
Properly. So those days you've covered in one month. You got your next month. Do now the 2 months afterwards, because hit is supposed to last 3 months average.
Yeah.
Do that for 3 months. You've got your money back. Those days it made sense. Today the performances have gone down. I don't think we perform as much as we did those days. But in exchange, people charge a lot more for performances. Now people don't do 300K for an appearance. 300K is for a starting act. A guy who
also needs
testing
a
out his
platform.
craft.
Yeah, like some guy just come, just have like a 300K for you. It's only transport. That's no, because the other artists get 1M above, and that's how now you can start. But now the performances are a lot less. So guys performing 3 times a month, 4 times a month. So if he's getting 1M, he's actually getting a lot less than they did back then actually. Even though the inflation doesn't, whatever. Are you seeing the math?
Yeah, but now in terms of value adds, how would, if I'm like venue owner, is hip hop relevant enough that if I got an Avio or you to perform, I'd get back my money, or it would make sense? Because then I'd rather, like, from how, but when you look at the new sound, right? The new kids have followings. They have followings. They have followings that are attached to, like, from the school.
Yes.
It's dope. They're around that.
Yeah.
But now, where it would have made sense for the guys that have all this experience, they don't seem to have a fan base.
The new guys.
Yeah, the older guys.
The older guys.
Yeah. Yet they have spent all their lives developing that.
I was talking to someone about what we were arguing about recently, and that's when we had some similar discussion. Some artists, great artists, have been able to actually have armies. The people you don't attack on social media literally have armies.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you survived. Let's face it, Jada has an army. Let's face it. I have no idea how you survived. I have no idea how you
But
survived.
his army has died out.
My thing was just an honest conversation. They came
Jenna
around,
blocked me.
but the arguments didn't.
Sometime back, yeah, it's probably like 2014. We went into that same argument. Okay, by then I used to really, really doubt if he's like the biggest hip hop in terms of like rap. So I used to put up my arguments there on the
See,
guys.
our arguments are different. Me, I was just asking for accountability. He was bashing the arguments.
But that was then, I'm saying. But then the army was there. Yeah, but now I feel like it has died out. Also, people don't. I think they see him more of a businessman now.
Here's why I know the army is not dead. There's a time I just made a simple statement on Twitter. Last statement I was talking about who I think is one of the greatest Ugandan rappers ever. And I put that statement out, and 80% of the people came. And now when I put it out, the Baboon Forest Twitter page retweeted it. They did a screenshot and retweeted it. That post, the one for the Baboon Forest, had I do not know how many responses and quotes. And everyone was like, "This idiots, come on, it's GNL." The was like, "Oh, the army actually still exists." Because there are few. GNL, Baby Cool, even Shiba has the Shiba Olives. Bobby Wine definitely has. Spice has.
Tough one.
Cindy has.
Cindy has. Yes.
Yeah.
Cindy has.
These people, now those people.
Kenzo has.
Kenzo definitely has. And so those, even I think even Vibe Ranking has his army also showing up, they're pulling up. So those guys with armies are the ones who are guaranteed. You're guaranteed your return. If you're, how about things buzz today get their visibility anyway. But for example, let us say there's a club that has a May night. Let us say, I don't want to give the clubs they're not paying for this. So if there's a club which has a May night, like that Thursday night doesn't pop. The other nights pop, but Thursday is May or Friday. Yeah. If they attach your brand there, your people come. People are like, "Yes, guys gonna perform here. I want to be there." You bring the crowd there. Yeah. They get two things. One, they get the people buy drinks. The people buy drinks, and if a beer is original price, they think get like 2.53. They get like 3. They're selling it at 8. Yeah. That's a 5 increase. So how many people do I? To get my 300k back, let's say. Okay, 500k back. How many beers? That 5 bob. The quick math outside 100 beers. 100 beers, everyone drinks about 4, so looking at 25 people. 25 people, in these 25 extra people, I made my money back. And yet I'm bringing like 100 people. So you are making extra money. You see what I mean? That's the first thing. Secondly, you're getting because you bring the people, all these people, because they like what they're coming to see, they're going to put your free influencers. They're going to post. Now you're getting your free visibility without having to hire one of your people to go and post. You're going to be atted. That's how trends come up. Because trends are now becoming a big deal because they're talking about you. Yeah. It all works in that way. You see what I mean? That's your next question. I'm giving you the maths today. Even sip my tea. Giving you the maths.
I don't know. I mean, I've worked with a few people in the bar business. Yeah, I have. So you find that just though we come from far.
That's why you worked in a bar and we go yeah, and let you do that. Hey, it's okay.
I worked with a few people and it depends. There's sometimes you'll get some artists and you have this assumption of their army is going to come through.
Yes.
And also the dynamics of this army change. Nowadays with
true.
Trends and all that, you're not really sure if someone is an actual brand advocate for this person or they're being paid like some retainer thing. At every end of the month, this person probably has like a free ticket to this show or they probably get free shirts or something like that because people do that nowadays. I'm going to give you a free shirt, you're going to keep posting for me and push me all over the place. So there are lots of I don't think there is like
it's not guaranteed
way. Yeah,
it's not
guaranteed anymore.
Because you know when Casper was coming for blankets, I got curious. I checked his Insta every day for the 2 weeks too. I didn't see a single post about blankets until of course after. They're like, "Oh, he has nice food, now I can show because I had to show in Uganda." But I was looking forward to it. I wanted to see if he does. I was really questioning. Because I would like to, if I invite an artist to my show, you need to give my event some visibility, man. True. Post me. I'm paying you. You better post me. I think it should be almost guaranteed that you have to post that I'm going to be here.
Your socials have to show.
It has to show.
Numbers.
Something.
Posts in a week.
Bro, even when he landed, there was no video of I'm in Nairobi. Well, Mr. Easy was 2 weeks ago. I was posting at Maisonnoir. I'm like, "Yo, I'm here in Kampala." He wasn't even posting. I just posted Selector J on his Snapchat. So Selector J pointing at him. Then he posted himself drunk singing. My guy was just hanging out at the bar, and he showed that I'm here. Casper was coming to perform. He didn't post anything.
Also, Casper has a reputation of being like that. if you check the South African news timelines, whatever,
Yeah.
you find that he's always one of those who feels like his brand is up there. Even Nasty C actually made some kind of this joke about him in one of his albums. He was at an interview and he was like, yeah, Nasty is my guy, what, and then Nasty goes on to say, man, you didn't even want to like push our album, you didn't even want to come to studio with me, and then now you're saying that we are homies. Like, Casper is just controversial like that.
But speaking of Casper Blankets, I felt like
I know what he's going to say.
watching through his whole performance. Yeah, we were struggling to vibe with him until he had to drop the Shebele. Like, guys, we're struggling to vibe with him. His new stuff. Like, I don't feel like he's giving his music the attention it deserves.
I know what you're going to say.
Ugandans.
This guy has that tweet he's going to pull out.
No,
He's
not
going to
even
pull it
just
out.
that.
You're not going to pull that out.
Yeah. But
I
still,
kind
noticed.
of agree with you, but then as a Casper diehard, I feel like all the songs he performed are one of the best.
Are the best.
Are the best songs that
For
he
Uganda.
has, yes.
There's nothing else.
Not for that he has, but not for the Ugandan crowd. You see, Ugandans have these things. It's like with Amapiano as well. Everybody claims to be like a hip hop fan. Everybody claims to be an Amapiano fan. But when it comes down to like, the basics of it, this song probably didn't have a music video. So you find that some people don't even vibe to it. And then as the diehards who have followed his journey over the years, of we've seen all his discography over the years, we're able to vibe with every song. So it's a little bit of like that of Blankets has a certain crowd that moves with the trends. So if his song wasn't if a certain song wasn't among the trends, they'll be like, nah man, we're vibing.
The fact is the songs he performed were the best that he has ever had.
Yeah.
Except he didn't perform Gusheshe.
Yeah.
I just realized. No, but here's the thing. Casper did an album or two.
But I liked his performance though. It was very energetic.
Yeah, I liked it.
He had come to perform.
I was at the back there singing, I done got my juice back, dabbing over there. Can't understand but brought it back. No, but the thing is, he did an album or two that were 100% Amapiano. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A full Amapiano album. And the songs played, I'm sure there are videos there. But like our discussion about local artists versus artists across the border, name Kenzo. When Kenzo crosses the border, do you think he'll perform City Alos or will he perform
Weekend.
Stress Free?
Stress free.
When he crosses the border,
City Alos.
which
He has to go
just
with the
perform the
beats.
one that people know. The one that's bigger. You're not going to just Stress Free may be a better song, but which one did the people like more? So same with Casper.
Yeah.
Casper has that house stuff. So that Amapiano, the brrr don don, doing those dances of his.
Yeah.
So those songs vibe in SF for sure. But coming to Uganda,
They actually claimed that he was just jumping on trends
No,
because
he
he tried
definitely
to
was.
push it so much it started becoming something that was very cringe. Of he's trying to create dance moves for it, and people
he
weren't following along. I think he also tried to make memes out of some of those songs with like
Yes.
maybe like a
the
song in
problem
the
is performance
background
is
and we
buff.
make
That's
some
enough.
weird ass face. Things didn't work out. Yeah, we'll give you like dance lessons later.
That doesn't good though. That's
But
what
I
I'm
think
it's buff and the thing is
Casper
sick.
is also like, just as any brand, he's trying to evolve and stay relevant. Because
Yeah.
you find like people like Nasty C have evolved. They're having like collaborations in the US. They're making all these tour travels.
Yeah.
And Casper is kind of being left behind, honestly. So I think he's also trying to keep up with the trends. And the Blankets performance, yeah, I feel like it was average. He could have done more. He didn't really engage.
No.
He didn't
What
really
could he
engage.
have done?
For
No,
the
he didn't really
performance?
engage with like the Ugandan like
It
how
was
do
just
you
not
say?
his
You know what he should have performed? Is his remix of Ntala Mafia, the
He has
verse
a
he
remix.
recorded. Because the last time he came for the
Did
moon,
they
whatever.
really produce it?
That thing even trended on Twitter when they released it. They released the recording of him recording it on
Yes,
Twitter,
but
and
it
everyone
didn't
was going
really
crazy.
come out.
But see,
Not officially.
the Casper conversation
Not
really
officially.
drives us to the big conversation of Casper, right?
Yeah.
Still can come for Blankets and Wine. And House of DJs will be assured of numbers because Casper's strategy, a good strategy for them. But what are the
think
odds?
I think Blankets has is a brand of its own. It's
I
much
agree.
more than the artists that come on the
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
It's the experience. It's the lifestyle of having
No, but
okay,
they
how
have to
people
do
call
it. That's the
bougie
experience
people.
they give.
Yes. So now
So I
these
would expect it
artists
to be like that.
should be able to feed into that.
I feel like Blankets is inviting you to experience their crowd as an artist.
Yes.
Like, hey, artist, come and check out our people. So it's not like they're trying to say, hey, artist, bring your people to us. I don't think I don't think they care about what your. I mean, of course, they get a name. They need a name. Which name is hot now? Yeah, let's bring this guy. Our people want to see.
Hot, no. Like,
And
it
Azawi
still has to be.
headlines, so you can really see that they
Yeah,
they had
as
to
long as
think.
like the most.
But yo,
The,
I sorry to cut Azawi that weekend alone. I think she was in Imbara for the Rotary Governors Ball, I think on Saturday, and then she came for Blankets on Sunday. So since we're talking about numbers, I know where Azawi is less than 10. The way her brand is, okay, let's say less than 6. I don't think Azawi was worth less than 6. You book Azawi, I don't think she's worth less than 6. So just between, maybe 8. So just between Saturday and Sunday, she probably hit like almost 20. That week, we don't know what she had on Friday, don't know what she had on Thursday. She probably was worth 20 M just that week.
but now the
She's talking about
conversation
numbers.
there
Out
is
as well.
if Azawi can bring 8, she's really
8
represented
for
very
one.
well.
Yeah.
Packaged very well.
How much do you think Joshua Broker can bring right now?
4 mil,
Any event. For a concert, for sure.
4 mil, 5 mil.
4 and 5 mil.
I played the fifth.
But then
What
a Becca band,
what do you
I
okay.
played the
a Becca
fifth
band
on
is
that
given
one.
about 4 mil, right?
Yeah.
To fill up a venue and then hang out.
Mm.
Yeah, and they do it.
Mm.
And have that crowd. But that is a band.
That's a band.
Can GNL fill up that crowd now?
First of all, how much do you think it should cost to get
GNL
GNL?
right now.
I don't know. I haven't even.
I don't think.
Maybe it's
Okay, how much
free.
would you be
Very
willing
well.
to pay?
Like I don't
Honestly,
think people buy
around
to
4 or 5.
it. No, I feel like it's a lot.
How much would you be willing to pay for GNL?
And that
2
dictate the
laptops.
songs is going to perform.
You say 2 tops?
2 tops.
Damn! These are cold. Wait,
No, but
let me tell you.
like,
He's probably, if he's giving 2, he's coming with a CD. He's going to be on the mic like, D, take a track
No.
number 2.
I'll tell you,
I'll
right?
tell you.
Our crowds have developed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, into what they're listening. I'll give you 4, and I'm not saying this because you're on this podcast.
Mm.
I'll give you the 4 right now. Because then you have all this music that people are
Somebody.
vibing with right now. You're putting the work for this time.
Mm.
I don't feel like he's putting that work. I'd give them 4. Yeah.
Okay,
Fuck
when you
it.
say it like that, I
Yeah.
see what you mean.
Yeah.
Because I think the way we're saying Kenzo hasn't, we're trying to remember last time Kenzo had a solo hit. If you'd say the same about GNL. Because I think it's also,
Exactly.
I think I see when you say it like that, I
But
understand.
he still killed the Tusker Conversations, the performance.
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I'd love. Okay,
So
if
I'll
we had
be
to
assured
use,
that my
if we
people
had
will
to
be
use
satisfied.
an analogy of he hasn't maybe had a hit single in a while, how come people are willing to pay almost 500,000, 2 million for Juliana Kanyomozi?
Now that's the brand. Remember that thing we spoke about investing in music versus investing in the artist, the brand?
But JNL kind of has a brand.
He also has, that's what I'm saying, because he hasn't had a hit song in easily 5 years. I don't know. Maybe he's had one in 7.
Would
I
you
don't
be
know.
GNL too? No, sorry. Juliana.
Juliana,
Juliana, I'm like 10, 15.
Juliana, you can
like,
give you just give her the money. Whatever she
just give
says.
her.
What do you want? Let me see where I'll get it. No,
Did you
guys
guys
said
attend the
that.
concert?
Huh?
Did you guys attend the
Nope, I don't have 10. I didn't go for it.
Broke.
I mean, I'm like, another thing is, I know her value. I know Juliana's value because Juliana is a queen. Juliana is royalty. Honestly speaking, if GNL hadn't released an album in the last 7 years, I would see him like Juliana. It would be legacy, vintage, treasured performance. If he hadn't released for like 7 years, no rap, no nothing, just have the baboon first thing go up there, just have, whatever, just silent. I would have seen him as the legacy that Juliana is. It's like when say now there are Boys to Men coming here. People are going to pay for Boys to Men in a couple of weeks.
And I'm one of them, by the way.
And when was the last time I had a Boys to Men? When did the last time Boys to Men released a song? But it's that vintage legacy, that gold, that treasure. Like, oh wow, this is memories. It's part of your life. GNL is part of people's lives, historically speaking. So is Juliana. Like they are part of our growing up lives. You know what I mean? So it's clear cut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the
So-
way, these
We've
guys
grown up
need to
again.
tell us when they're doing their reunion.
I'm tired of asking. So
They're
so
dropping an album in December, right? No.
see
It's
see
album,
see
not
until
everything.
I see the artwork.
Yeah,
I'm not going to ask.
those niggas have
They-
been
they
practicing
talk
for a
about
long
it
time.
on-
It feels like the Aura
EP
album.
release.
It feels like the Aura album.
Oh,
Anyways.
system.
Anyway, so what I'm saying is that's how if Gian had said in that context, that's how I would have seen him. So personally, I think also being there can reduce your value. It's like remember that Bobby Valentino, the singer, right? He had his time, right? That one.
Yeah.
And those songs have millions of views. One time I got curious and I googled. When I released the Vechi song, it has with about 20k views on YouTube. Because I was trying to come back and try to be relevant. So now he broke out of his golden shell because he was trying to come back and compete with the new people. So now he started breaking against his legacy. So that's how I see
Michael
it.
Bolton has a new song as well.
See? Now.
Like,
So, here's a question. If JNL dropped a music video today and he posted a link on Twitter or on all the platforms, how many numbers will he have by close of the tomorrow?
Let's just Google. It dropped one 2 days ago.
He dropped a song 2 days ago.
Yeah.
It's a hustle song.
Look at you like you don't. Hey guys, I mean.
No, I saw it on my timeline, but I was like,
That's it. Yes. Hey, it's actually been 11 days. 24k.
but how?
24K
No.
11
But
days.
you guys, there's sponsored ads nowadays. Like you can't pay for
Yes,
video
sponsored
views.
ads. The sponsored
You
ads.
can't pay for those things.
No, but 24k is still bad.
For
JNL.
him, for Gina.
For JNL. For 11 days. So, if there's even sponsored ads, then it's terrible.
About ask what you're saying. So what are you trying to say? The army is going to come for you. You better quit.
Yes.
When you do the snippets, you better put yourself. We don't want us to be in the snippets. This is you. We're going to comment. You'll be like, damn, he actually went there. So I'll be like tweeting like, hey, this man is brave. This is you.
What is the problem there? Let's.
Okay, you say it. How you say what you're saying?
So, what is the problem? Even to the guys that have actually developed over time, they have fan bases. The numbers are still failing. But then, the conversation is once you get everything right, you get the money out. How does music make money now?
Okay, before I need to also say something. Because GNL is also from a particular era of music. There is a particular era of music whereby the fans did not search for you online. For example, let us say, if I look at, like, let me say Santana, right? I keep using an example.
Yeah.
Santana, where Grias, he's done his thing.
Yeah.
His social numbers may not reflect that.
True.
But his radio and the street reflects a different story.
like
That's one
really
thing.
loved
I
it.
always tell him.
See what I mean? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So for some people, the social media numbers do not exactly reflect their value.
Yeah.
Also, another thing, I just I was listening to Pharrell Williams, kind of explain the music business, and I learned something of there is making it and having a career. So I feel like GNL falls in the category of having a career, but he's not really making it. So now people would put in the making it career with making it kind of era would be like the Spice then.
Yes.
No, but then what is making it to you? Everybody has like
Having a
different
house.
definitions.
No, for me, yeah, that's the most. I don't know why he brought it up, but I didn't expect so much. Doing things like Baboon, it's still running, right?
It's it has TV,
That
it has
stuff.
a monthly thing.
That is what I call making it. And for like someone who has been in the artist, going to the management, to me that's huge. That's, you really create a platform for everyone else. That's making it.
Yeah.
I feel like, to me, he should front that as the whole value proposition of what he has done for people than build a house. Like, you can place some money on a bet and win money and build a house.
I'll be honest with you. There are times I didn't know if GNL was affiliated with the Baboon Forest. That was
I knew Gina was part of Baboon first, but then when he left,
Yes.
and this Baboon was still going, at times I doubted. I thought it was like some fans who just put a thing together. There was a time I thought, because he felt split. Even Jay-Z talks Tidal every now and then. Even Kanye talks Easy.
Yeah.
And I never felt GNL attached to this brand. So the times I thought it wasn't even related at all. Right now they have TV, they have weekly, is it daily countdown? They have monthly events. Like they're doing the thing. They're moving. If you see that place,
They have a whole
they have an in-house producer. They have crazy. They have cameras. It's a crazy thing. But until I started, I was like, oh, okay, I can see. He is probably, part of. That's when I started realizing he has to be part of this. But there's a point where I thought it wasn't attached.
Yeah, he didn't own it.
I think he should own it. I think.
Yeah, and I think it's something that would actually have shifted this whole conversation.
Great.
Because now we're looking at the older generation. I don't know if it's like that old, but yeah, you're looking at the older generation mentoring the next generation of artists, whether it's hip hop, whether it's dance hall. We would love to see that happening a lot more, because I see Navio doing it as well with some of the new kids on the block, MTN Hip Hop Awards. He's doing all these things to mentor the next generation. The Myth is doing it as well by adding people in their albums. You're doing it as well by adding people in your albums. Collaborations, and it's something that it's worth celebrating. So I don't understand why he would front house over this, because the other one is priceless. Passing on knowledge that you've it's priceless.
Yeah. But the man has a house.
The depth
I'm
also.
not sure.
A house. Yeah, they're joking about a house. We have cousins and
I
people
feel like
who are
you're-
there struggling to get houses.
This is why I asked you
in
guys to
Gayaza.
really look into the story.
Guys have bought land in Kira, Burindo. They've just kept there for like 5 years. They haven't afforded to put a foundation. You be there. Can't even pay the architects to make a plan. Anyway, continue. But they have land.
They have the land. And when it rains, they stay home.
Come on, how you're saying?
When you look at the story for someone like Jenna, where he comes from, like I'm trying to trace back to his Koi days. So that is what I feel like his story is, right? He's trying to narrate, look, I am a ghetto child who has nothing. So it might make sense to him to like really put up a story building. It is something of value. I don't want to take that away from him. Even though I feel like the growth, and you see how Jay-Z does this whole thing of he goes back, he does a few things, so he gets McMill out of jail, and pays for some other kids, then he waits for a bad verse, then he tells us how he has done what million things.
At times I have beef with Jay-Z. Did I tell you something? There's a time Jay-Z was offered to perform at Super Bowl, and he said he refused. I saw a tweet. So I was like, God damn it, I can already see the Jay-Z verse. Get like, Super Bowl offered me whatever, and I turned them down.
Exactly.
That was the tweet. Well, like 2 years later, the song with Beyonce comes, that ape-ish. The Super Bowl offered me whatever. I turned it down. I'm like, well, nah. I even saw the tweet. Like every time Jay-Z says something, like, here we
That
go.
is Jay-Z. Like, I feel like that is what JNL is trying to do. Yeah. And I was also listening to his conversation on hip hop of how the baboon, he tried to like really talk about the baboon forest thing in the whole conversation. So there is that whole greatness with no limits. Like he wants to live up to it. Of look, I am this great because I am among the guys that started this genre of music. This is what people say, right? I don't think that there was that conversation. Who is like that godfather of hip hop? Who started this thing? And people always bring up JNL. So I feel like right now, since it's what the Bobby Wines and the Beckles and Chameleons benchmarked on, who was the biggest house, who was the biggest car, he felt like that is the direction he has to take to stamp his greatness.
I think it's also because he was, when we had the big three, he was big enough when they were also in their era. Because you remember back then hip hop was visible. It was okay to talk about hip hop.
Yeah, but he had no big car, he had no big house, and that shit really mattered. It really did.
Something you said kind of makes me feel like, what if it's not about him as an artist, but it's him as a society thing? Or if you find anybody who is probably, over 50, 40, 50, their bragging rights are so different from ours. Ours, it's, I have 1 million followers, I have 1,000 streams or something. Okay.
Not me, man. That's you. How old are you? 12? But continue, please.
Okay, I'm 13. So,
continue.
you find that what if he came from that place of he's from a certain generation that looked at houses, cars, probably having 10 children as bragging rights. It's not these things of mentorship, what.
But which makes me actually ask. I didn't see the. How did he say it? I didn't see actually. Was it a video? Was it a tweet?
It was a tweet. I think it's on her tier.
That's possible, I think. Because there's also the context of how it was said.
I actually read the whole article.
When someone might have been like, but you have nowhere to sleep. Say, I built a house in Muyenga. That's a whole other thing.
No.
The
context was,
I've
made enough money from hip hop to build a house. So guys, you guys can make it. Like that typical motivational speaker jazz.
So you guys say, nah, man, he broke. And hip hoppers are broke. Guys don't forgive.
Actually,
like,
that's the thing.
And before you wrote down,
saying hip hop.
even though she wrote it, you're like,
And
you guys.
That's it.
No, okay. He said, I made enough money from hip hop to build a house.
So you can't make enough money from hip hop to build a house. I've done it. That was his argument.
So, I mean, it's possible. I think, can we agree that Fefe Busi makes hip hop?
Yeah.
I don't want to bring Fik Fameka because people might argue, but let us say Fik Fameka does make hip hop.
Yeah.
It's possible for them to build houses. Not now. Maybe a couple, 3, 4, 5 years with consistency, but they can build houses. Even if you count gravity, it's possible. Trill, there's a possibility. We take
something already. Because I remember when he went to, I think, Nigeria, he had a couple of investment opportunities. Like he's really reinvesting some of the money he got in Nigeria from party after party.
Yeah.
And he has done some amazing things. He
He
just doesn't
Party
put it
after
out
party
there.
make money? I don't think so. But I was eavesdropping some conversations on the Soyoji podcast. I am going to go back and listen to the whole of it because I had work. He was crying about that whole arrangement.
But he had too much money.
Business, no.
Oh, okay, because that's nothing I was going to say actually.
Yeah, the business wasn't good. Because Striker Entertainment.
I was going to say something. You're going to. I'm going to piggyback off of that. Remember when I said Azawi probably made like 20 in a weekend?
Yeah.
I didn't say how much she has.
Yeah.
Don't forget she sang to Swanks.
Yes.
Don't forget she works bombs the band.
Yeah.
Don't forget she has a label to pay. So
The clothes.
so even if it was 8 M, we're assuming by the way, we're not saying it's 8 M. We're saying that someone would pay 8 M.
Yeah.
So even if she was getting 8 M, she probably got maybe 2 of that. Maybe. It's possible.
Very
So
possible.
because of the label and the payments. So if you look at Trill, everything was taken care of by Striker. Because I know for a fact, back then I wanted to be signed by Striker when I was hearing what Striker was doing for him. He was ready. I remember when I used to hear what Striker was doing for Trill, even me I was like, yo man, let me get signed. Because car, house, everything, food, parties, like you don't have to worry for anything. And I know that's what Swangs also does to the artists. But the way also labels international, even the Don Jazzies and them, Mavens, same thing. Because even the way, that's how it works even in the labels.
Why is it that when the label goes away, all this goes away?
Because when they sign you, they lend you money. It's an investment. When I sign you, when labels sign you, the first they're going to do is lend you, let us say, 30 ma.
lend you. Let's say we're lending you 50 ma. When that 50 ma I've lent you, you're supposed to buy clothes.
I get that.
You're supposed to pay this producer you want. You're supposed to shoot your video. I have lent you, and you're supposed to pay me back. So the shows we get, now you start paying me back. And we can agree at what pace you're going to pay me per performance.
It's actually a little worse than that, and I think that is why the current generation does not want to do anything with labels. So the way a label works is, yes, there is that lending money.
Advance.
Yeah, no, there's lending you money of we probably have a $50 million worth of investment on you as an artist. So now in that $50 million, some of it is going to come in form of the video production, for the audio songwriting, and then there's also the part of the resources of, now let's say you have someone like me who's a digital marketer under a certain level, they are paying me to take care of you and make sure you look nice on social media, your manager, all these resources that are available are kind of like gotten from that money that the label is giving you. And then you, at the end of the day, you're going to get something that's almost like a salary of you have like a salary of probably like a 500k or like it depends on how much you're bringing in.
All these Uganda artists that are signed, they get salaries.
So now
They win in wages in them.
but then there's also the
At the end of the month.
There's
I
a
believe,
part.
I think it's salary. I think that's what it is.
There's a part where most of these guys actually get pissed off on, and then I understand from the side of an artist of you have a lot of things to do with your life, but here you are in debt, and yet this is money you've just gotten as salary. So if let's say Winnie Nwaji hasn't had a concert in probably 3 months or something like that, so she hasn't made quite a certain amount of money, and yet every month here is probably songs giving her like 10 mil to just go to studio, work on her body or whatever she's interested in, go to the bar, spend some money on bottles. Like all this is money that she keeps on owing to the record label. So it's gonna reach a time where probably in like a year or two, and she's in more debt than she actually had going in. And I think that's something people don't understand about record labels. They look at it as 50 million worth of investment. I'm gonna just take all this money
and blast,
and then life moves on. And then when they're like, okay, and there's interest involved, by the way. There's interest involved. So you look at someone giving you 50, they're like, okay, I expect like probably almost 80 back. So if in a certain period it's a business.
It's business. Yeah, that bit has to bring money back. Because the fact is, the money. Everybody realizes why, as soon as an artist gets signed, they couldn't do that. They look nice. Come on, that Rachel Ray glow up that happened overnight like this. That Rachel Ray glow up.
Wait, Rachel Ray signed now?
She has a manager. So manager can't actually act as signed, because that manager is one who puts the investment. So the manager counts as signed in UG.
In now Ugandan way of doing things, it's possible. Because Spice also has a sort of arrangement like that. I think I've seen Jeff and Pinky also have that sort of arrangement.
Yeah, they had that, Jeff and Pinky.
So it's something that's common here. But I think a lot of artists in Uganda don't understand that. So now,
but also, right, no one has made it without being signed here.
In Uganda?
Yeah. Fika Maker, who all those guys, Palace, all those guys that hit.
Do you know how rich you have to be? Okay, I know someone who has.
Unless Gabriel.
That's what I was going to say.
But he didn't make it.
But he does music for fun.
And he has made it. So you have to have money to make it for
Atlas. Atlas is a huge investment.
Let's move on from Atlas.
He has money.
There's that money, but you don't want to talk about that money. But yeah, he does have a couple of investments, but you don't.
He does.
You don't want to talk about Atlas.
What you mean? The drone is going to pull up suddenly when you're still recording? A drone is going to pull up, going to be on camera. We're being thrown around, and I continue.
Because now you said it. But and then I think
however, though,
when you bring it down to hip hop, right? If you're looking at hip hop in Uganda, how are people actually making money?
They broke. I'll say it like you are, but it's possible. There's a reason why I say
all you guys doing hip hop are rich kids. All
So
you
that's
guys do.
some
This
shit.
is actually a lie.
That's it.
This is not. This is
You
a lie.
wish that you did
The first
tell
time,
me.
I am not. You know this. I am not. People have seen me
I
out
didn't
here,
know
bro.
you were
I think the
rich.
first time you met me, I was
Some
like,
comedy.
the first time you met me, I was like, about how many months behind the rent.
No.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
You have the luxury to see.
Now, me,
Guys,
look at this.
I think
Let me tell you
you guys
something.
have this thing of assuming.
Yeah, I know.
So rich person.
No, so as long as you speak English, you're rich.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
Nope.
That's what he's
So
saying.
I'm probably like some cool rich
Ah, but
kid.
you're a rich kid now. As soon as you walked
Balance.
in, and then you look like you had showered. It was
Let's
over.
balance the math with all
No,
of
so here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. If you're doing hip hop for money, first of all, accept that you're not going to make the hip hop you want. Accept. In 2023, you're not going to do trap. Screw these things and you make money. It's not happening. It's not happening. I'm sitting here. It's not happening. I'm sorry. It's not happening. Your streams will not give you money. You stream for like 6 months and you check your account, you have like $7. That's not going to. That's not even a meal at Java's. That's not even a meal at Java's. But if
Kid talk, Jabbas.
I'm just awkward. You want me to say like that's not $10?
Yeah, but that's it.
Doesn't you feel better now?
You get $7, you treat yourself.
Bro, no, but now leave that hip hop. You put it on hip hop, like life for the rappers out here, real ish. But if you want to make money, be realistic yourself. If you rap, be realistic and make the music people want to listen to. Today, they don't want to listen to hip hop. I don't want to get into that conversation now. But something happened on the way, and the Ghanaians gave up on hip hop.
I agree.
They like, nah, this isn't it.
And I think also the influence bits died down. We don't have the Hot 100s. Focused on
media
that. We
played
no
a
longer
huge
have
role
such.
Yeah.
back
The
in
media
day.
also died
Exactly.
out. Yeah.
So like basically overall hip hop has reduced, and now the rappers who make money make chidandali,
Yeah.
and it's working for them. No song. What's the song with Vink and Fik Maker? That's pretty much a hip hop song, honestly. Even the beat is hip hop, but the reason it's acceptable.
And also, it's tricky, right? Because I feel like Santana.
Yeah,
He tries to make people's music,
he does.
but the masses are trying to reject him. They're doing to him what they did to Henry Chigan. Very good music. Santana can literally give a freestyle on some shit that has
Santana
happened.
is nice.
Yeah.
Santana is nice.
And it's going to be dope. It's going to sit on our beat. But then you'll be like, wasn't this guy's beat? That is the question. Like, listen to his music. You're like, okay, why don't I see that this, like, I'll appreciate it. I'll be like, legendary stuff. This guy is really good.
Yeah.
But then you don't see that depth of it. Of now, this is a guy that has made it in hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's honest. That's a whole conversation. That reason that hip hop and mainstream is a whole actual conversation that has come from history, and I don't think it can even be covered in one episode. That's a whole other conversation. Like I mean that like that's why all I can say is right now at this current state, you have to like the type of music Santana makes. Santana makes people music, but now I think now for Santana he would need the backing, the crazy financial backing. Because I do not think he has
viral marketing.
Exactly, viral marketing, crazy videos, Sasha Wise video, all that. I think if you had that, now a guy like that can get proper money. Speaking of which, Munji has been quiet.
Munji, but now look at Rionga. We had skipped Rionga, right? From the old guys. Rionga had to now go back to making secular music, and of course, he throws in
things, man. Complicated.
He throws in that line of.
We'll get some coming.
Christ your license.
Christ your license.
Hey.
To confuse us that he's still on his gospel shit, but he has talked about how he's only into the money. Like
first of all, I never had someone use those two words together, gospel and shit. But continue. Continue.
True. So you see that you have to, like you said, you have to make the music people want.
Yeah.
He had to really, because the new album, I don't know if it's an album, but Patayani has No Job. That's all relatable.
No Job was a good song.
It's a good song.
I like that song.
I don't know how he failed to release the video.
Nice.
Made him a really good video.
No
Really
Job.
appreciate
I
it.
used to like that song.
Yeah.
But no,
I'll never forgive him for that.
for No Job.
Yeah, for not releasing
I
that.
feel like if No Job was released after Patiani, it would have been crazy. With the count of
That was the
Patiani.
plan, though.
No, after Patiani, I think the plan was on with Rickman.
Yeah, so he wanted to release. Maybe I didn't. Like, he didn't. Me, I think the video we made for him is really dope. I'll show you.
Hey, I haven't seen. Hey, let's see after this.
Yeah, there's a personal investment in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
No Job.
Maybe he didn't.
Yeah,
He has
Make
one
it
job.
It didn't like. Cause that was the plan.
Mm.
Yeah. This I know because we used to have these conversations with him in the time when he also and then he had given me some bit of perspective on the numbers. He was saying if you invest in a video and push it like this, the money comes back. You like chase around performances, the money comes back.
Yeah.
You get back your money. So the plan was to release Patayani. No Job was already released, but the video was
The video was not.
yeah. So it was supposed to be released right after,
Mm.
and also be promoted.
Yes.
So he wanted to have a whole budget to promote it like Patayani, and it gets there. The Rickman song. So the Rickman song, they did a really good video, but I think they didn't. Patayani was already heavy.
It was overshadowed by Patiani.
Yeah.
It didn't come out.
So there's that. There's people who, and the conversation that I was about to forget. Tom once told me that the best time he's had in hip hop.
It's called the myth, man.
Yeah, the myth.
Yes,
Was when he signed.
like, man.
Got big nerves, but
Was when he signed to.
Talk about, Joseph. You know Joseph. Okay, you guys call him Chameleon, but anyway, so my boy Joe, right? Continue.
So, the myth. Told me the best time he had was when he was signed to Kinetic. Like, he felt like he was a complete artist then. So there's that. Being signed and the comfort it gives you to actually really do the art.
Yeah.
Isn't that fulfilling enough to get from the industry?
If you
Or
just
does
want
it
to
have
be
to be the
famous,
yeah.
it depends what money is coming out.
No one just wants to be famous.
That's what I'm saying. Well, the people who want to. Ugandans.
They just don't
especially,
test it.
especially the young Ugandans.
Yeah, a lot of
Just
people
want
make
to.
music just to get famous.
Yeah. A lot. Music, acting. But no, what I think, one of the coolest things, I don't know if people know that we are in one of the coolest eras right now. This is an era which is one, let us agree, entertainment has been around for a while.
Yeah.
Entertainment has been around for a while. But this is one of the eras right now where entertainment has money. Has money. I do not think you could ask for 8 Mart to perform 15 years ago in Uganda. In 2010,
I don't know
Or-
if Red Banton did, because they told me he used to like get international bookings and
that's
stuff.
just international. Okay, we're saying, we're assuming Azawi gets 8. Do you think, person like Azawi, let us compare her to, let's say Lillian, to 2010?
Leon
Or
and
Cindy?
Babasi?
Yeah, Mbabas. I'm trying to get someone equivalent 2010 to 2008. Do you think they could have asked for that money back then? I don't see it.
They were with what's it called? Steve
Blue
Gin?
Three.
Yeah.
Blue 3.
And that
You think
whole
that-
partnership with Coca-Cola.
I think it was a bit like 2M, maybe 1M to perform. I do, because what I'm trying to say is right now, this particular moment, also bring in the influencerships, the influencer numbers, social media numbers, streaming, views, even actors. But I was out here acting this and I was getting my I was showing up shoot one day on set and I was leave with my money immediately. I'm like, damn, problematic money out here is nice. Right now, entertainment has money. We are getting into an era where we're almost trying to reflect the American state whereby school is not the only way of having money. You don't have to be a doctor, engineer, lawyer. You can make music, you can make your art, you can make your podcast, you can do your streaming, you can do your acting, you can do whatever, you can do the arts. The actual arts are financeable right now. And so what GNL said, despite being a bit too extreme,
Yeah,
is still a possibility.
let me say
I agree with that.
what he
please,
said word for word.
Mhm.
If you look at the size of my mansion in Muyenga, You will tell me whether hip hop doesn't make money.
See, I didn't even notice he had talked about size of the mansion.
Again, that's like you get dead. Might as well just do this. Him really be like an evil guy more. Kids have real laughed.
Oh my god.
No, okay.
That's what I'm saying, but it's a bad aspect.
But I see where he's coming
truthful
from.
about
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah, and I feel like he's truthful. Like, I can see where he's coming from a Ugandan level. Like, he wants the message to stick. Like, you, as a hip hop god, I have a big margin.
Yes. And my journey started with rap.
Yeah.
Because it's possible. If your journey starts with rap, it's possible. It's possible. If I'm to think, for example, can we say Chameleonaire made money as a rapper? He has a high worth. That guy. He only released one song, but he's one of the people who flipped their investments correctly.
Yeah.
He did one song, not one song, but I think one album, a few songs.
Yeah.
But then he's one of those guys who
Yeah.
got that money that he got, invested in the right tech companies, flipped it, and right now he's doing very, very well.
Yeah.
Just off of investments. So I think that will count. Because even there's no rapper who is rich. I'm sure if we were to break down Diddy, Dr. Dre, whatever, all their money, it will all come. Dr. Dre, I think when he became a billionaire, right? That came because of Apple. The Apple sale. So when they say the richest people in hip hop, they put Dr. Dre there, not because of sold albums, but because of what he did with the money and the next steps as a hip hop person. So what I can probably say that maybe GNL did some things. We don't know what happened in Hollywood. We don't know. Man
Yeah,
probably
and
owns
the thing is,
like
he
some
needs
hoes.
to front that more, because
What if he owns some hoes?
There's no shame.
Maybe he
There's no
owns
shame.
drones in Kampala. You think he's going to tell you I own drones in Kampala to pick people up?
No, there's no
We
shame.
don't know.
There's no shame in him saying I'm a businessman,
I'm
right?
okay.
You can just call it being a businessman, but do not say that you got all this money from hip hop. Like, we can respect everybody here.
Because then we're going to ask for
hustles,
album
man.
sales, we're going to ask for streams.
Because now
Which you
we're gonna
already
get
did.
down and start doing the math, and we're like, bro,
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Like, just be honest
can't
about
wait
it
for
and
the
be
comments
like,
on
man.
this one.
But I can actually believe if he said, like, he probably went to the US and probably got like funding for his studio to mentor the kids, because that is something that a lot of people are investing in. You find that a lot of like let's say in Nigeria, you see how Empower is got this money and is now investing in the next generation. And is open about it. He's giving speech and and encouraging more people to join in, and he's even doing it here in Uganda as well.
Yeah,
So if GNL came up with something like that and it's like, yeah, with the studio we have in Muyenga, we're able to do this, we're trying to do, TV productions and
there's also
something like that.
There's also a possibility that you probably using that someone probably went to America to some company that's like, yo, I'm a child of the ghetto in Africa, and they rap, and we need some money in Africa to make more rappers.
And you show them some pictures.
On black and white ones, like a fly or something.
That's like
The fly is black and white. Like, as you can see, all this is Samueli. He's a rapper too, but he needs a studio. Technically, that's getting money from rap. I'm just saying. That would still count as getting money from rap.
There are success stories though.
Yeah.
Look at, like Nelly said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nelly said travels around the world with the mic
hip hop.
Hip hop thing. From like completely grass. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I look at that as success.
Mm.
It has gotten him through doors, which if he had pursued some other career, those are the doors would still want to get into, right? Still on a hustle grind. He's not driving Lamborghini in Kampala or whatnot, but he has achieved those things he would have otherwise gotten elsewhere.
But then that will bring in Big Ben's thing of you have to speak a certain language to be successful.
As an
No, Uganda is
African,
really dominant, right?
Yeah, but then
Yeah, you can't just-
you'll attach it to that.
And
I'm
it
a
makes
Big Ben
sense.
Tokyo-ish.
It wasn't real, but it makes sense. First of all, most of the mosques.
It's just how he said it, which rubbed people wrongly.
Yeah.
But he wasn't lying.
Yeah.
He wasn't lying.
Really?
Uganda is still a business language.
No, but the thing is, when you go to Fort Portal, okay, if you go to other regions around Uganda, you'll find that they don't really care about the language. If you go to Fort Portal, okay, they do care to a certain extent, but they are flexible. If you go to Waru and then you say, man, GNL is coming through, but they'll probably have some local rapper from there. You go to Fort Portal, they have a great beats there.
Here's the thing. All these places, right? Look, Uganda has been fronted as the powerful center of Uganda. And the fact is, ever since I was a kid, even the fact that Luganda ran with Uganda always made me think like Luganda is the
official language.
Exactly. So that's why even when you're in Kampala right now, you will get judged for being in Kampala and not speaking Luganda, even if the other person doesn't speak your language. There's a time some lady who cooks whatever vegetables was there, and I came and I was trying to order some stuff, and I did some fumbles. And then she was like, yeah, how could you be in Kampala and you don't speak Luganda? Literally, you know me, I speak because I tell that a lot. She's a grown man, I respect her, of course. But I'm like, come on, can you speak Lusoga? Ask her straight up to her face. That's when she's like, hey, you're not from Uganda. That's when she let it go. The fact is, Luganda has been, and now also Kampala being the center of the whole country. It's the business center, it's the powerhouse. Kampala is where you come to get money. Yeah. Luganda is being the driving force. Whether I want to admit it or not, Luganda is being the driving force. If someone, give me the most famous song of the last 1 year, I do not know. That one of the most famous Luganda written songs.
That lockdown song, it's not actually not.
Okay, let's use that. Which one?
Easy song.
Ben Downey. That guy is even not from. He's from.
He's north.
He's from the north. But
easy.
Imagine easy.
Yeah, that song.
But imagine he had rapped his song in his language.
It wouldn't.
It wouldn't have matched up. If he rapped his language, it wouldn't have matched up. So Big Ben did have a point. To a point.
Yeah. Isn't that a conversation Chameleon holds for his Swahili verses to penetrate East Africa?
Yeah, I think that was intentional. It was intentional to penetrate East Africa.
But at the time, man, Bongo Flava was it. If you didn't know Swahili, you weren't making radio waves or even getting TV interviews.
I think that's why Uganda struggled to compete with the rest on EA TV.
Yeah. But man, EA TV was such a vibe. Like, for us to be there and you're chilling with Mr. Blue.
So let's close with this question. Is there money in hip hop?
There's some
enough to build a house.
You're looking at me first.
Okay.
Me have broken down that hip hop. First of all, I said it earlier that if you're making hip hop in Uganda, forget that. It's good. Forget that.
Okay, let me ask this question like this: when you build your house, whatever time you want to build a house, will you come out to tell us that?
No.
Hip hop has built my house.
No.
You'll attribute it to all
everything else because I reached a point and I saw. I'll be honest with you. I knew 10 years ago that hip hop was not going to give me money. I knew, and I said, screw it. This is just something I do as a hobby. Let me work, and that's why I have never. At the times when like people have been like, yo, come have video, come have a performance. If I'm at work, instead I'm going to be like, yeah, dude, I'm working. I'm not going to come and perform for fun. Yet rent is due in 2 weeks. Landlord has already texted me good morning. So I have to be aware.
Text good morning.
The first text good morning, then they give you time. So I'm trying to be awake. So I made my decision early that I'm going to focus on my work. Like a text.
I know like a text.
Landlord checking on you.
Full stop, good morning. The ends there until like says it at 8 and nothing else. You're like
27th there. 27th, 26th when he just sent you a message. Yes, overall, I think the money in hip hop, you have to not act like a hip hopper. You have to rap on Ugandan beats. You have to work with dancehall artists, work with mainstream artists, work with the Vinkas, and invest like a mainstream artist. Don't show that you're too cool for Ugandan music. And then when you cross borders, you can start doing the international stuff and so on. That's what I think.
So I'm gonna disagree with him because my line of work involves with us interacting with different people of different different walks of life, and right now entertainment, like you said, is the topmost thing. Every
Yeah.
brand is looking to see how they can tap into the entertainment crowd. So I can say yes, there is money in hip hop. I've seen a lot of brands come out and say, man, we want to support the art, we want to support the culture. But their challenge is we don't have a lot of people that live up to it. People are not willing to look cool. People are not willing to build their brands to a certain way.
Come on now. Come on, you're taking shots at us. My guy has a hood on his jacket. Oh, we're not truly to look cool. A hood and it's night. He's indoors with a jacket. He says he's not willing to look cool. My guy is sweating for the swag. He is sweating for the swag. That doesn't know willing to look cool.
Okay. But the thing is, there are a lot of brands that have come into the market and they're willing to invest in hip hop as an art form. They're looking to get a lot of wordsmiths out there because if you look at the statistics internationally, hip hop really does get a lot of attention out there. So if we in Ugandans came together and we said, okay, we're doing it for the culture, and we create a whole lifestyle, because hip hop is a lifestyle. The same way Chidandali has its people of doing the random dances, hip hop is a lifestyle. You can't wake up one day and be like, I'm a Luga floor rapper, I'm a Chiga floor rapper, and you don't look the part. I feel like a lot of brands are willing to buy into the lifestyle, but our artists are not yet at that level. We'd rather, throw shots and have like random fights and, just I don't know, be mean to each other for some reason. But there is money to be made that can get you a house. Oh, I can tell you, Judas Rap Knowledge. Judas Rap Knowledge has built his career through hip hop and has built a house. I think. But what people,
he has enough money to build a house, right?
Yeah, because he's getting bookings here and there all over the country, and he raps in his language.
Yeah.
And a lot of people like it. He's so good that a friend of mine told me that people try to start beef with him, and other rappers were like, "Nah, leave him for us."
So I will admit that, like I said, my biggest problem in the Uganda, especially Kampala, is that hip hop has been compressed. People have given up because for a couple of events, as we said, hip hop has been compressed. And like you said, internationally, you see hip hop picking up in other places. Yeah. That this thing happened in Kampala city center, that squashing of hip hop. It didn't happen in other districts. Yes. That's why you have Mbari, you have Kawali, you have even go to Jinja, Gulu, Mbale. Big Ben is a king in Mbale, So all these places, hip hop, they haven't faced the crash that happened in Kampala. But Kampala being the center, it feels like hip hop. And the thing is, it is possible because if you realize every other country, or most of the other countries, kept going up. Kenya kept going up. Now you have Calligraphy Jones out there eating, whatever. Nigeria kept going up. Sarkodie is out there chilling with Ludacris. South Africa going up. Nasty C, T.I. You see what I mean? These other countries did not slow down just because. Sarkodie is Ghana. These other countries did not slow down for the internal reasons. For us, something happened in the center that has crashed to a point whereby if Kanye West is coming, if Casper is coming, if I don't know, name AKA is coming, all these guys, whatever we are late when he came, the Ghanaian people will not get a rapper to work with them. They'll get a Chidandali person.
The one thing though that is a brainer there is we don't have smart hip hop cuts.
They just went to shots at us like this.
That explains everything.
Just talk to him directly.
He's even looking at me. He can't look at me straight in the eyes. He's like, he's not even holding up.
Now let me define smart in this case.
You talk to me directly, it's okay.
The business. Goes back to my whole point. Most hip hop guys are rich kids. You know how rich kids are really comfortable. Like they can just sing, and because you know what happens in the US really always has to reflect down here, right? Most of us are influenced by hip hop. Hip hop is more popular than any other genre from the West. Yeah, that is what we've listened to. So by default, you'd expect that you guys will be our close definition to cool. So would really, really be that devoted. Like I'm going to a Price Taylor concert, whatnot. He's making the money. Like you'd see that whole army thing. But because you do not want to give it the investment it deserves. You're rich, comfortable kids.
You look at me directly, huh?
You just let it be like that. I feel like guys make money elsewhere. Yeah. Who's this guy that does Chai Wanjai? Alien Skin. No, before Chai Wanjai guy, Alien Skin. Yeah, Alien Skin by the way does hip hop, right?
Not looking at me. I don't think
Like
so. I can't
that's all shit that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, but whatever, all these other genres have all these guys that can make money out of their stuff. Yeah, like a guy real survives. Before you know it, I don't know if it's just for show and it's rivals versus idols, but you really see there's progress. A guy gets from extremely broke, they're now renting in some fancy stuff, they now can afford to have a car, and you see that, and there's no, it's coming from the music, the performances are there and whatnot, but you don't see this with hip hop guys. The guys that really come out solid, maybe Newcastle like Lagoon, you see the effort.
I think.
Yeah, but the money
little
doesn't
bit-
show still.
Yeah, some of it. What I've seen with those guys, if you interact with like the ghetto guys, they are a community of people. Hip hop guys, like you said, there is this bias of these are rich kids, so people are even hesitant. If Navio came up and said his upcoming concert is charging people 500k entrance, everybody's gonna be like, wow. But if Alien Skin did it, people would be like, yeah, that's my guy, man. I'm gonna look for that man. I'm gonna hustle for it. So. The ghetto card has a community of people enough for them to constantly keep their artists booked. You go to Makindye and Alien Skin probably has like 5 shows in one night, and he's making probably a meal.
What I
each
don't
of those
agree with
spots.
that though is Uganda at large is like a big ghetto, right? Urban and non-urban. They're really, even the guys that have money really don't have it. They don't have so much. A big chunk of us are just hustlers. Yeah? And this is what like hip hop is mostly about representation. Most guys sing about the hustle and whatnot. So you do feel like that is our face, that is our sound. Hip hop has to be bigger than any other genre here, but it's not.
No,
I feel like it's the creatives that just don't want to invest in it like that.
No, I think, like I keep saying about this, what happened to hip hop recently. Hip hop is having a rebirth. Hip hop is having a rebirth. If you remember hip hop of 2018, 2019, rappers were few. Yeah. There was a time 2018, 2019.
Who is who?
Yeah, like okay, let us say you had Price Taylor there, right? But Price Taylor dropped side Zena. So he was easy. NTM easy. But how many real? Of course, the constants. Of course, the names. There was constants. If you make a name it. But then overall, people literally used to wait for a word season, and then they just release music, get out and go quiet. So hip hop was quite quiet. Then there has been a rebirth right now. Right now, I can compare the current hip hop season to about 2010. No, earlier, maybe 27.
27 was that
2007.
competition is dead, whatnot.
Yeah, right before. Right around, but coming to competition, that competition is dead era.
Yeah.
That's why you see the Genesis, you see the Lagoons, you see all these, you see the Cavalli Kings, you see the Homie, you see like there's so many new rappers. If you were to compare how many new rappers there are right now that have come up in the last 3 years, the new rappers, versus how many rappers who have been visible in the last 10 years left, there are a lot more new rappers, right? You see what I mean? So that's what I'm saying right now, it's a rebirth. So what I would say to both of your points is give them time, 3 years, 4 years. Give them first. The fact that the Genesis Bantu vibes had an MTN thing going on before Trigger currently, we're moving on to MTN Pulse. The Bantu vibes had the MTN Pulse thing. They have their events, they have border stage. They have border stages like, if you guys remember those days, it was Yego night. Now there's border stage. Yeah, there's a launch party every week or so, corner. And the coolest part about it,
there's expressions, all that covers.
Even expressions.
Oh,
And the coolest part about it,
isn't a brand thing?
no, it's not.
But there are also these guys singing songs.
That's what I was gonna say. The best part about it is hip hop, because I'll be honest with you, the hip hop made between 2013 to 2016 was detached from a lot of people, detached from R&B arts. Yeah, be serious. Detached from R&B cats, detached from dancehall cats. It was only rappers and I have bars. They were really separating themselves from a lot of people. And right now, people are working with R&B. Like you say, they're working with the Liquor Bands, they're working with Akinas. All these are now becoming constant part of it. They work with Joshua Barakas. Jay Watts is out here comfortably mixing dancehall, hip hop. Yeah. So now it's a total revamp. Give them time. If they don't scatter, if they don't get scared by the absence of money at the beginning, but with 3 years of consistency, it will get into something. GNL's prediction might end up coming true, because the way these people watch these kids, if that virus grows, the numbers will grow. Kampala will stop looking away from hip hop. They'll be like, except okay, this is a real thing right now. No one would have expected Joshua Baraka alone just to become the song become as big as what's pushing 2 million views right now.
Yeah.
An R&B act, 2 million views in Uganda of his age. That could never have happened. But Joshua Baraka is a part of this new wave. He's a part of it. And he's proof that the new wave is on something.
Yeah.
So give them time. Watch them spread. But of course by that time probably will have retired and hung up by a microphone or some shit. I don't know. But then you see what they turn into, and GNL's prediction might come true. With the streams, they're already getting their money back already. The streams are now getting them some money. I need to check Lagoom's numbers.
How much money would you get from 2 million streams on Spotify?
Not enough to build a house,
but enough to.
Like I think you get probably like 5K. You probably get like 5K.
They pay you per 1,000.
Per 1,000, yeah, something like that. Then you get like probably like 5K.
Yeah, and I agree, man. The current generation of rappers is really they're really changing the game.
Yeah.
One from the lyrical content, they collaborate a lot, and they're bringing back that old vibe of like going to places and just meeting and supporting each other.
Yes,
You'll see Joshua Baraka on New Akine's album. You'll see him on what's his name? Sean Main's album. They are all working together to build this new ecosystem. That's why I'm like, it's very possible for the current generation to be able to build mansions in a few years.
They will.
Just from music. Without the whole...
But you see, all that stuff you're talking about was around.
But it was
stuff. Like guys were meeting, I remember...
Yeah, but then they, like I said, we have that whole conversation. It imploded. They killed themselves. We've had this whole conversation. We've spoken about it before. We can speak about it when even English is dying. But speak about it again. Hip hop killed themselves. Something went wrong. Like I blamed on everyone, but the last generation did something wrong, and that's why, of the rappers who are rapping between 2008 to 2018, I think only 15 are left. Imagine for that 10-year period, only 15 are still rapping. Makes you think. I can literally start counting. Flex, Tucker, Price, me, Big Ben. I'm struggling to get the rest. But that's how bad it is.
It's so dead that the females have failed to replace Keko.
Huh? Have you heard of King Missy?
Yeah. King Missy is nice. King Missy is nice.
You're
King
missing out, man. You can't...
Just gonna look for King Missy.
Not close to Keko.
I think no one will be close to Keko because Keko was Keko. It's like saying someone will have to be close to the late radio.
No, I've had people.
But you haven't listened to King Missy.
Yeah. So I listen to King
Missy.
Right.
Listen to Tushinaba Chara, Polo.
Yes.
You haven't touched? Oh my God! This game was sweet. I think the sweets again. This game was sweet. I noticed.
You're missing out on music.
No females will replace Keko.
Okay, I think I understand where your argument is coming.
Why don't I know King Missy? That's a big question to answer.
Because come on. Keko came in peak hip hop era. Guys are coming in the dump hip hop era. Come on, it's not the same.
And wait, if you watch Iptune and Hip Hop Awards, how do you not know King Missy?
Does he?
I do.
Does he?
I do watch that one.
We'll see the next ones if you watch. No, but for real, this is Keko was peak hip hop era, GNL era. King Missy is in. They have come out in struggle hip hop era.
Is King Missy rapping in English? Oh,
There's English, but I'm trying to see. I don't know if I've had time to mix it up.
With Uganda or some other language.
Mostly, what I've had was English. Now Tushi can beat you a Luga flow. Jesus.
And she's a vibe. She has like the whole thing. But I guess I kind of understand where you're coming from. Of you want someone who's going to bring some sort of legacy to the game, but I think the new generation is reworking the whole business model of hip hop. It's no longer about I have to be GNL, I have to be Bebe Cool, I have to be Chameleon. It's about you have an album, I love your song, we're in studio together, why don't I drop a verse? Like it's about
just watch.
It's
new.
It's
it feels
beautiful.
new.
Honestly,
it feels
it's
new.
so beautiful.
That's why I keep comparing it to 2008.
Yeah, I go to a spot and I find, let's say, Bantu vibes, but they're with like the Cavalli King guys, they're with these different associations, and then you go to a different location, like the different groups. And yet before, I think around 2010, 2015, it was about Ntinda rappers.
Yeah, they were so
Ntinda
split.
rappers.
And that's where the problem started. My opinion, that's where the problem started. They fractionized themselves and kicked out the mainstream. So you kick out mainstream to become small, and even in your small thing, you kick yourselves down further to smaller groups. NTM was along, everyone had their own thing. Like, what Port Bill Drive was also now these guys don't even know what that stuff is. Of course, some kids are still trying to talk trash on some groups, but overall, they don't know those whatevers. They don't know those boundaries.
They don't care. Because for them, at the end of the day, like if you talk to Cavalli, he's like, at the end of the day, the streams tell it all. Like it's just about the music for them. Get your music out there, share it with your people. People come through, they listen.
Just Mike.
That's it.
Averagely, how many streams does Lagom have?
I haven't checked. Let me check.
On Spotify.
You don't want that money, yeah? You want to do. So don't forget our calculations. Our calculations are on one app, and then we multiply by the number of apps. The overall like around 4 5. So Lagoma has a song called Desire, which is 56K. There's a song called Tuliwano, the one with Denesi. It's at 61K.
That's Spotify. Yeah, Spotify has like the monthly thing up there. You see it.
3,583 monthly.
But each song is surpassing the subscribers. Remember,
look at this guy jealousy.
They pay per plays. They don't pay per listener. Yeah.
There's this per play. Every play is some money. So now get this, and you add Apple, you add Tidal, and you add Snapchat, you add Facebook, Instagram plays. Like there's so many apps. They're like 30 music apps. You had Boom Play, all those count.
Audio Mac, okay.
Audio Mac, all count.
So we'll talk for the next one. Our generation.
Yeah.
For them,
but I like how the pandemic shifted things. I think that is where we saw for real that sorry to say this, but the old hip hop had died. Because you saw a lot of artists struggling to stay up to date. You saw people, I don't have money, because now there were no shows. A lot of people used to spend all the money they got because they knew, I have another wedding next week that's gonna probably pay me 10 mil. Then this, that side. But then COVID showed people that, you know what, the new wave had been actively investing in all these streaming platforms. So now we saw a lot of people like guys linking up, doing collaborations, doing a few challenges online as well, and getting their streams up during COVID. And that's how most of us even got to listen to more of the artists as well, the new wave sound. So, and then you find like the old generation kind of just died down. Now you find them, they're like, Mr. President, we have associations, we have all these groups and all these things. And then the new kids on the block, they're like, hey man, cool, that's what you're doing, but we're getting booked for performances over here. So we don't get what you guys are talking about. So I like how the new wave guys are doing it. And I honestly, I love that brands are actively pushing them as well.
Yeah.
And they're dedicated to it. We've seen, I can't mention names because
they're not paying us.
Yeah, but I go for some of these shows and it's quite interesting. It's quite entertaining. You can find, let's say like expressions, someone having like a nice, chill kind of thing. It's like a whole even kind of concert feel to it. Yeah. But these are new artists. They've worked on their performances. They are all-rounded artists. And some of them are even, I feel like Joshua Baraka is a brand, and he's a brand of it's his actual name, but it's also a lifestyle for him now.
Boom.
Do you think Joshua will survive 5 years?
Even beyond.
What's wrong with you? You just want to search it.
He said he got a new
But here's the thing between
Roast
my
this guy.
issue with new hip hop and old hip hop. I feel like new hip hop has the business thing all together, but there's no depth. They don't have the.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Old hip hop
Don't
has
Old
has
hip hop is
longevity.
hard, yeah.
Because I've been listening. Realize a lot of new hip hop people, they're making bubblegum music. To be honest, they're making music that will be so sweet right now, and it will fade out. And they're making timely music. Like if you listen to the kind of the beats or the production they're doing, 3-4 years from now, people will not care about that sound and they'll move on to the next one. So that's also the problem with hit-based music.
I
And
feel like
hip-hop.
that's an assumption.
No, it's actually, if you listen
I
to
feel
The
it,
sound
like
is
it's
actually
a-
really nice. The
it's
production
nice,
is
it's really
really
nice.
but it's
But the
timely.
thing
It's
is,
timely,
I've seen some of the trends of the Americans online and some of the music that they're listening to. Let's say, what's that guy? NBA Young.
yeah, that's also time.
Like
It's the same thing.
the guy has
It's the
the
thing.
same song, sounds the same
No,
way.
but that's the thing. That's why the argument for new hip hop is actually across the world. That's why you get a few people like Cardi, Kanye, Jay, who are trying to make music that you should be able to listen to 10 years, trying to make music that make this. Because even when I tried to listen to Blueprint 2 or 3, I don't know which one. One of them I was listening to, and half of the album felt timed. Like the thing is, 10 years later, you can tell when the sound is timely. Like it's pretty much dated. And a lot of people want the hot sound because that's what will get you the quick man. That's why I'm calling it bubblegum music. People want to hear it right now. They want it to be sweet right now. But it's going to be good for a while. And just like bubblegum, the juice goes out. So it will die out sooner or later. But they've got their hit. You have seen them. And they'll rush to the next. That's a lot of these new albums, these 7-track, 8-track things guys have started normalizing, are made so that, here, I've got you an album. You're done? Okay, good. Now here's another one. You're done? Okay, now good. Here's another one. So I'm giving you a round of dated sounds. Enjoy this sound that's hot right now before it runs out. Okay, now this sound is hot. Now enjoy this sound. Okay, now. But the problem is that is now one, you will never have a legacy. You will never have that song that after 10 years, hey, Mr. DJ, guys will re-sing and be like, yo, this was that jam. You will never have that. You just have that song that we shall sing today and next year do not want to hear.
I think we're missing out on the fact that the next generation of kids are consuming music very differently from the way we did.
Faster.
Yes, and it's
And
faster.
That's part of the thing.
Yes, I understand that. Yes, there might be that possibility of this bubblegum music is gonna fade out, but I feel like there's also this possibility of it evolving into something else, because we've seen how most of the current songs, let's say the American songs in America, most of them are renditions or sampled songs from some of the songs from back in the day. Either it's maybe they
samples pretty much.
Yeah, they're all mixed and twisted in a certain way, but they see it's still, being, I guess these guys still get their royalties at the end of the day.
But
So I feel like the newer guys.
But yeah, like Amadi pretty much. But have you realized that the samples? But have you realized that the sampling that's done today is sampling popular songs, as opposed to sampling Kanye West and No Idea What Just Plays were doing, which was by looking for a song you liked and trying to sample it and chop it and own it to a point that you almost cannot recognize the song. DJ Premier used to sample songs. There are songs you listen to from back. There's a song called 93 Till Infinity, Source of Mischief. Listen to it. I love that song. And I just found out like 4 days ago that it was sampled. And I just saw the sample. I didn't know it was sampled. And see, that's the thing. The older hip hop used to sample and own the song that it doesn't sound like a rendition. The newer samples are feeding off of nostalgia. Even Burna Boy's Last. As soon as I heard it,
hurt me.
you see what I mean? Because automatically you get attached to the original song that you know.
Yeah.
The Tony Braxton.
Yeah.
So they're using popular songs. That Tony Braxton album, I'm sure, had like 15 songs or so. Burna Boy could have sampled any other, but he intentionally sampled a popular song to hit on the nostalgia, whatever. And that's what, because let's face it,
We are in such a dopamine-filled environment these days. Everyone wants a quick fix. That's why songs are becoming shorter. That's why they're just using nostalgia. There's a lot of give me something good right now. I need to move. That's how it is with the music right now. And it works. I won't lie, it works for them. It doesn't work for the overall legacy and value. That's why songs are dying a lot faster. Even if you look at someone like Davido, what's the last, from the top of your song, 5 seconds, last hot song by Davido?
Whiskey.
How long ago was it?
Very long ago, 3-5.
But he has dropped an album like a month ago. You see what I mean by quick fixes? Mm-hmm. You're making so many songs, but then the brilliant ones are a lot less right now. They're being more spaced. And that's what's happening right now. It's just a new world. Of course, I can't complain. I can't change it. You see now, you have to think longer. You see what I mean? You have to think longer to get it.
But
you're not getting there.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that's what I have.
That's it.